Thank you so much for coming to Practical and Magical Tools for Releasing Anxiety and Negativity. Yay! It looks like you guys are a very happy bunch. So thank you for being here. And I know some of you are coming from West Coast, which is 7 a.m., which is like 6 a.m. yesterday. So I do appreciate that. So if you want to put it in the chat where you're from, I think for some of you, I just asked where you are, and a lot of you, I know where you are, but my recommendation is you put yourself on the gallery view. So you actually get to feel the community. You know, you guys are not here physically together. However, these are like-minded people that just like you. So if you want to put it in the chat where you're from, and then get to know each other, and then see each other's face as I speak. Some things you may see people going, and I'm gonna try to be funny. So I would love it if you can laugh as much as you can. So, and then and I'm not seeing anything on the chat. Would love to know where you're from. Thank you, Jeanette. You're in Norway. Oh, yeah. I thought you couldn't hear me. Okay. Maybe you should come in and out. Okay, and then Nicole, yes, New York, and Marie. Oh yeah, you're in Oregon. Oh my God, thank you. It's so early in the morning. And you have your face out, thank you. Oh my God. And then Nevada. Oh wow. Okay. Nevada is a little bit, I think 1 hour difference or 2 hour difference, right? Wow, thank you. That's still early too. And Jan, you're my neighbor. You're in Queens. And Carlos, you're in Manhattan. And Michelle, you're in Connecticut. And Ellie is here too. And Ellie's in Manhattan. And Diana is in Manhattan. And Hillary is upstate New York. Awesome. So a lot of us are in the eastern part of the States. And some of you are all the way from Norway, although I think she's coming back in. Okay, thank you. And let's see. Oh, and Annie is from Bronx. Awesome. So who is here? I just want to know who's here. So who in here is Reiki practitioners? Okay, some of you. Awesome. Okay, great. And then who here is brand new to Reiki? Okay. Somewhat. Okay, for some of you. Okay, so for those of you, it's brand new. Oh, Nevada is Pacific time. Oh my God, Nancy, thank you. That's 3 hours already. And Annie Bronx. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Okay, so Reiki is a Japanese energy healing technique. And it's the modality that works physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And I started Reiki in 2001 for my dog. And I used to be really shy and anxious and negative. I would have never been speaking in front of people. And I was worried all the time. So I used to call myself warrior, not this kind of warrior, right? The yoga pose warrior, but I was worried all the time. I was like this, and I used to call myself warrior. Anyone in here a bit of warrior in here? Thank you. Yeah. And then I met Reiki. And I didn't do Reiki class for myself, but I noticed more I practiced Reiki, less anxious I was. And I started to see the bright side of things. And one day I realized all my negative chatter is disappeared. So anyone in here anxious or worried often? Anyone? Thank you. And then are there people in your life who's struggling that you want to support with their anxiety? Yeah, thank you. So for intention for today's event is to give you a practical and magical tool for releasing anxiety and negativity. And some of the practical tool may sound like a common sense, but you know, when you're down in a ditch, right? When you're so anxious, it's like, we don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Yes. So I'm going to list it out. So that way, if you or someone in your life goes into that situation, then you can just go back. And I'll send you an email of the list too. So you can just go back to that email and then you just check it out and then go one by one. Does that work for you? Thank you. So 3 magical tools comes from Reiki. And then we'll end with Reiki spiritual blessing. It's often the highlight of an event for many people. So please stay until the end. And then towards the end, I'll share with you the information about upcoming hybrid Reiki 1 class, where you can learn more about the system of Reiki if you want to get more of what I'm sharing today. So it's about 75 to 90 minutes. Depends on how much of a Q&A there is, how much of a share you want to do. Some people I haven't seen in a while. So if you want to stick around and chat after the event, feel free to do that. So what I want to, will there be a copy of recording? Yes, I'm planning on doing the recording. So that's why I'm asking everyone to mute, because I'm going to do a speaker view recording share on YouTube. So if you want to catch later on, and you just enable the captioning. So that way, if you want to see a recording later on or share with someone else, you'll be able to have that. Thank you for asking that. So can I share with you how to get the most out of this event? Since you got up early to be here, you want to get, you want to get the tips on how to get the most? Yes, thank you. So please participate fully, which you guys are doing such an awesome job. Thank you for raising hand when I ask you and nodding, and you're fully there. So, and then laugh as much as you can, because when you do, and I'll try to be funny, when you do, your brain can retain the information. Your brain open up when you're participating fully. When you're nodding, when you're laughing, and if you can stay with your video on like you're doing right now, then that would be great, because I would love to be talking to you. And I understand some of you can't show your face, which is fine. But for those of you who can, I would love to talk to you, because then I know how you're responding. And, I do have things that I have prepared for you. However, depends on how you're responding, I'll customize it for you. But if I can't see your face, it's a little bit hard to tell. So thank you for keeping your video on, who you can. And then I mentioned this earlier, and some people joined in later. So my recommendation is put on the gallery view, so that way you can see other people in the community and not just my face. And I am recording this, so please put yourself on mute, so that way you won't be recorded accidentally. However, if you raise your hand, if you have some question, if you have some share, and then afterward you're like, oh yeah, can you please edit me out? Just let me know at the end of the event, and I'll ask my assistant to edit you out. But maybe some of you want to be on YouTube. We'll see. All right, so are you guys ready? Yes, okay. So who have I met before? Awesome. And that's some of you who am I meeting for the first time? Yes, yes, yes. Great to meet you. My name is Michelle Shinagawa. I am a Reiki Master Teacher and KonMari Business Life and Space Organizing Consultant. Some of you know me as Tony Robbins trainer or relationship coach, and I wear many other hats. So I'm a geek. And if I start listing all the titles, there's too many and it'll put you to sleep. So I won't do that here. But all I need you to know is that I've been teaching Reiki and other transformational work since 2007. And I have taught over 300 classes, over 5,000 people, probably more. I stopped counting. So I'm not saying to brag about it, but for those of you who has logical mind, you can trust me. I've been doing this for a while. And I've been in your shoes if you're someone who's very anxious. I'm originally from Japan, and I was a shy girl who was a warrior. I had so much anxiety. I used to work at a top ad agency on Madison Avenue in New York City, and it was a high stress environment. Anyone work in a high stress environment? Anyone in here? Okay, got a few of you. So as I mentioned before, Reiki not only helped my dog's arthritis, but also helped me with my anxiety and negativity. So after I started Reiki journey, I learned to take care of myself. My self-confidence went up. Like I mentioned before, I would have never been able to speak in front of people like this. And my lifestyle, right? I manifested a lifestyle of traveling a lot. And my friends who travel with me often are shocked how often I get the upgrade or front row or synchronicity that happens. And also, I learned to see gift in every situation, even during pandemic or my newly diagnosed autoimmune condition. It didn't matter what the situation was. I learned to find a gift in every situation. So most people know me as Miss Positive, right? So those of you who know me, right? That's how you regard me as. But then few things changed all of a sudden last year. My autoimmune condition got worse. I could only walk for 10 minutes and I was out of breath. And my favorite project got canceled. And my best friend and roommate that I emotionally rely on found his dream home in Virginia and moved out. And I was very happy for him, but it was like the rug was pulled under me. It hit me really hard. And I started to get my anxiety back. And it was so bad that all I wanted to do was sleep. And I never felt like that in the past. I'm generally the one that's a busy bee that will keep myself busy not to have to face the problem. But during that time, I did not want to do anything. I just slept and slept and slept some more. But in the process, I realized, wait, maybe this situation can help me better understand what my clients are going through, because I'm often working, I'm the anxiety release expert. I'm often working with people who've been carrying anxiety for many years. So I kept track of what I did to come out of it. So that's what I'm sharing with you today. I am an expert on releasing anxiety with my clients. And I'm just like you, if you're someone who struggles with some anxiety. But I have some tools, and I'm here to share that with you. And just so you know, so you don't worry about me. I mean, I think you can see me, right? I'm full of energy now, so I'm not anxiety driven. But just in case if it's in your mind, I came out of the heavy anxiety in a couple of weeks or so because I used all the tools. And because I took time to go all the way down, that when I came out of it, I was able to get really high and very super happy and manifest a few things. So right after I came out of it, I got a gig assisting my chakra teacher, Anadia Judith, maybe some of you know, at Kripalu Retreat Center, which is in Berkshire. It's a beautiful place. And they had me come as an assistant for 8 days and just learn and assist people there. That was my dream gig. And then later that year, I traveled to Japan for a month and met up with over maybe 100 new friends. And I also was in Turkey as a speaker at a conference. So I am actually in much better place than before I went down. I was only in serious anxiety for maybe about a couple weeks, but I know some people stay there for years or decades. So I'm hoping by sharing what I went through and what I did to release, that it will help other people like you or people in your life. So now, are you ready for some tools? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So I'm going to start with, thank you for your participation. So I'm going to start with 3 practical tools. Number 1 is praise. Praise. Do anything and pat your back. So you're here this morning. Can you just pat your back with me? Do it with me. Yeah. See, you got up this morning. Thank you. So praise is very important. So can we say it together? Praise. And I know I can't hear you, but yes, I see your mouth. Thank you. So this way you actually be able to remember, right? Like tomorrow you're talking to your friend and like, what did Michelle say? Oh yeah, praise. So by you writing it down or saying it, you'll be able to remember better. So thank you for your participation. So did you have someone in your life who used to praise you all the time? It could be your parents, it could be your grandparents or sibling or your friend or your teacher. Can you do that for yourself? Right? Often with my client, it's often the grandma, but not everyone's lucky enough to have a grandma like that. So, think of that person, how they used to praise you. If they're no longer around, can you do that for yourself? Oh, how is the word spelled? Sorry, maybe I praise here. Like, okay, so in Norway, maybe, okay, good. So, and maybe, right, if you don't have anyone in your life when you're growing up that was praising you, maybe you can think of maybe if you have little children in your life, maybe your own or your niece or your nephew or your neighbor. They'll take one step or one bite and they get a praise, right? Like, oh my God, you stood up. Oh my God, you took steps. Good job. right? Can you do that for yourself? Or maybe even, if you don't have little children around you, maybe like a pet, like your dog, right? They sit and they get a praise. Like, good boy. They eat or they fetch and they get a praise. So can you do that for yourself? Because often people who are anxiety driven, we are really hard on ourselves and we crash. So if your anxiety is so bad where all you do is sleeping like I was, right? And so lethargic that you don't want to do anything, just take one step. Just get out of the bed. You have to eventually, right? You got to go to the bathroom or you have to drink water or whatever you need to do. So then pat your back and say, good job, you got out of the bed. Don't be hard on yourself. We feel like if we don't push ourselves, then we're going to slack off. But actually, pressure make it worse for many of us. So let's drop the perfectionist in us. Often we get anxious because we don't meet our high standard. So for those of you who's here at 10 a.m. on Eastern Standard Time or earlier for some countries or some other like West Coast, you're probably someone who's more of an overachiever side. So if you praise yourself, I don't think you're going to slack off. And maybe if you are at a place where you're so depleted and so anxious you can't do anything, then maybe you can just make a game and create a list. Every time you accomplish something, like getting out of bed or making a meal for yourself, right? Just write it out, all the things you did. And I think most of you probably do a whole lot more than that, but you just keep going and you never acknowledge yourself for it. So give yourself a stir every time you do something. Take time to praise yourself. It doesn't have to be anything hard. And you can have a vision, goal, or dream. But our pressure of high expectation often kill our dream. Who knows what I'm talking about? Right? We just put, yeah, thank you. We just put so much pressure. So don't beat yourself up on the way to your dream. Keep praising yourself, right? You see the difference? It's like, oh, I'm not there yet. How come I'm so stupid? How come I'm not there yet? As opposed to, wow, I took one more step. Okay. Oh yeah, I did this, right? Keep patting your back on the way up. You will make it there quicker, but also the experience of making it to your dream will be much more pleasurable. So often we pick a hard challenge and then we complete it and then we just move on to the next one, right? Like what's next? And then maybe people around you are like, oh my God, congratulations. And you're like, yeah, it's nothing. I got to do this other thing. Anyone in here like that? Yes, yes, right? I know for those of you who's here, and I'm like that too, right? I'm like, okay, I'm on to this one and next one. And then we often get exhausted and we have nothing left because it's like driving without a fuel. And that's why we get anxious because we have nothing left. So can you just drop the high standard perfectionist and stop being anxious about not being able to accept who you are or where you're at with your lives and count the blessings? Right? Often we compare ourselves to other people and maybe feeling worthless or not good enough. And if we can just let go of that and being able to praise yourself, it could help you release anxiety. And nurturing your inner child is a huge topic. So we won't go there today. I only do that in private session, but you can start with being kind to yourself. And sorry, I'm very passionate and I'm a New Yorker, so I'm a fast speaker. So if you want me to slow down, let me know. But also I have a recording so you could listen to it again if you need it. But put it in the chat if you want me to slow down or if you want me to repeat something. And I noticed that you guys are taking notes, so I'll do my best to slow down a bit. And if you don't feel like doing anything for yourself, but you can help someone, go for it. Who in here feel good when you help someone else? And yeah, all of you, right? Yeah, thank you. So donate some time or money to get out of your head. I often donate to a dog rescue, especially when I feel like I don't have enough money. Not when I feel like I have money, but when I feel like I don't have enough money, then I donate so I can get out of the way. And then often that seems to create a great energy, right? Like it kind of creates the circulation in my finance so that not only the dog get to have extra money to be taken care of, but also my bank account get extra to be taken care of. So you can have maybe a favorite nonprofit. You could donate your time or money. Or if your friend need help, that's a great way to put yourself out there and take it out. Take your head out of the problem and pat your back for helping someone in need. So can you see when we stop focusing on ourselves, we stop focusing on our anxiety and negativity? Yeah. So that's number one. Praise. All good with that? Can we say it together? Praise. And then can we pat our back together? Good. Thank you. Okay. Can we move on to the next one? Yes? Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. My speed is okay. Okay. So number 2 is tidy room, tidy mind. Tidy room, tidy mind. Can we say it together? Tidy room, tidy mind. Thank you. So I'm a KonMari spiritual decluttering consultant. So I know this well. Have you ever started tidying up your room when you're up against some deadline and you're like, I need to finish this, but I gotta clear my room, right? That's actually you sorting your head out. So clutter in our environment affects us in our head. Do you ever look around the room and go, oh, yeah, I should be taking care of that, right? I got to pick that up. I got to straighten that up. Yeah. So it's creating a clutter in our head. So when you walk into a clutter room and you're bombarded with all those information, that's why when you stay at the hotel room, you're like, breath of fresh air, because I don't have to do anything. So an expert says, clutter is linked to anxiety and depression. So tidying physical item help you move your emotion and clear your head. So when I had so much anxiety and I couldn't move my project because I was too anxious to do anything productive, I was like, you know what? I might as well tidy the place to create spark joy environment. Right? I had enough energy to want to like move things. So when I saw it, I'm like, oh, I should straighten this. I'm like, okay, I might just do that. So at the end of it, you have a cleaner head and sense of accomplishment. Like, ooh, this room looks great. So my home certainly got tidier, and I'm a KonMari consultant, but I'm always looking for another way to KonMari my place. And I have much less anxiety. So number 2, tidy room, tidy mind. Can we say it together? Tidy room, tidy mind. Okay, and then I know we're talking about this one in the beginning. If enough of you are interested in another KonMari event, I'll be happy to do another free Zoom KonMari event. So just shoot me an email and let me know. And also I have a recording of the event too. So if you want to look and tidy your place, feel free to do that. Okay, so ready for number 3? Yes, okay. So number 3 is look deeper. So maybe it won't make sense just by hearing about it. I'll explain to you. I'm just trying to make this headline shorter. So can we say it together? Look deeper. Look deeper. Okay, thank you. So if you wake up with anxiety and can't fall asleep in the middle of the night, find out what it is that you're anxious about. Often we're vague about it. We try to ignore the anxiety and we try to push it down. Well, find out what it is that you're anxious about. You have a lot of time if you can't fall asleep. identify what it is, then you can release it. So let's say you got laid off and you're thinking, of course, I feel anxious. I got laid off. But what is it that you're actually feeling anxious about? Can you take a deeper dive? Because some people are very happy to be laid off, right? During pandemic, I know some of my Reiki students got laid up and they're very laid off and they're very happy that they got laid off. So how come you're not, right? So look deeper and see, is it the fear of not having enough money? Or is it not having identity as a person who used to work at wherever it was? Or is not having enough connection? Or is it fear of not finding a new job? Or is it feeling worthless or feeling rejection? Or did it trigger your childhood trauma of rejection? It could be so many different things, but we just normally stop there like, oh, I'm anxious because, they laid me off. Well, can you go a little bit deeper and identify it? Because if you identify it, you can move them, you can release them. But when it's vague and it's just somewhere in our head or somewhere in our solar plexus, we don't know what to do. You can't find a solution. But if you can identify it, you can find a solution. So for me, the anxiety was about being alone and then also was worried about my finance. So it triggered my abandonment issue from my childhood. My best friend is my biggest supporter in my life. So what am I going to do by myself? And then I looked deeper. And I was like, wait, I'm still chatting with him at least 1 hour a day over the phone. He still is the biggest supporter in my life. And I have so many friends. So if I was thinking, okay, if I'm feeling alone, then I may want to reach out to more people and create more community. And I used to live by myself until 3 years prior. Then when I saw that, I'm like, wait, what was I anxious about? And then other anxiety, finance. Anyone ever had anxiety about finance? Yeah, I think most of us have, right? Between losing my favorite project and needing to pay for my place by myself, am I going to be broke? And I looked deeper, right? That was kind of like what was like there. I checked my bank account, I calculated some stuff, and I realized, okay, I think I'm fine. And the irony is, if I were to stay home, being anxious and do nothing, I can eventually drive myself to be alone and broke. So when I saw that, I was like, what am I doing over here? And I used some of the tools, right? Some people can't get out of it, may know that is the case and still can't get out of it. But don't worry, I'll be sharing some more tools too. So when I figured out what it is that I'm anxious about at a deeper level and realized that I actually don't need to be anxious. And if there's something I need to be anxious about, I'll just find a solution. So my recommendation is write it out, take it out of your head, write it out and see what it is that you're anxious about. That's why journaling is amazing, because whatever is in your head, you can take it out. And seeing it on a paper, make it clear. It's like seeing in a broad daylight instead of seeing it in the dark. So for most people who has anxiety, we're anxious about things that we do not need to be anxious about. And that's what often happens to my client. They don't know how to face it and have anxiety about something they can't pinpoint. Once I help them to look at what it is they have anxiety about, they can release it and take action. So look deeper and take your time to allow yourself to feel your feelings. And you may need some help if you're not used to doing this kind of stuff, right? Your friend or professional therapist or healer like me. And if you're not ready to go deep dive yet, you can at least watch a sad movie or read a sad book and get vulnerable and cry your eyes out. So the worst thing is the apathy, right? If you can move your emotion to feel, even sadness, then you can come back But if you're stuck in apathy, then it's really hard to move. So that's why I recommend that even if you're not going deep dive in yourself, that you would move your emotion with someone else's story. So that way you can't just stay there. You normally come back, right? If you can move, then you can move to different places. But if you're stuck at one place, then do anything for you to be able to move it to one direction, even if it's the opposite direction. So that's what I do. When I don't have time to be really going deep dive, then I'll just read something really sad. I'm really big on Japanese comic books. And some of them I can read it in like 5 minutes, right? I'll read my Japanese comic book. I know I have a go-to that makes me cry. And then I'll go over there and then I'll cry my eyes out and then I come out of it and then I'm in touch with myself. So once I go super low, then I know I can come back out high. And as I mentioned before, if you're not used to doing this yourself, please go get a help from someone else. So number 2, that was look deeper. Is that good? Yes, can we say look deeper? Okay, and it makes sense now that I mentioned that I talked about it, right? Okay, wait, that was number 3, wasn't it? I don't think I counted. Yes, thank you. Okay, I lost count of it. So now we move on to the 3 magical tools. Who's ready for that? Are you guys okay? I'm talking like a machine gun right now because I'm so passionate about it. So the number 1 magical tool that I want to share with you is meditation or chanting. So can we say it together? Meditation or chanting? Who does meditation here? Ah, good, good, good. So you know the effect of meditation, right? And any meditation is good. And Reiki precepts chant is my favorite. This meditation has a clearing effect. It's like a vortex of corkscrew-like energy that's clearing me out. So some of you are my Reiki students. You know how to chant, Reiki butterflies. That's how I call my students. You can chant with me. If not, for those of you who doesn't know how to chant, you can listen to me and enjoy the energy and meditate with me. And it's only going to be a short amount of time. And you learned how to chant this in my Reiki class, but also I did create a YouTube video. So that way, after the event, if you want to sit in the energy of this clearing energy, then you can just play that. And then I also put a caption on there. So if you want to chant along with me, you could do that. And this is based on Reiki principles. So I'll be chanting in Japanese. So you won't, unless you're Japanese, you won't understand what I'm saying. But the English translation of that chant is, just for today, don't anger. Don't worry, be grateful, work diligently, and be compassionate and kind. So the chant is Reiki precepts chant. So there's a precepts in Japanese, which we go deep dive in the class. And the concept is what I put it in the chat for you too. Concept is just for today, don't anger, don't worry, be grateful, work diligently, and be compassionate and kind. So I'm going to chant for you. And look, my best friend got me this amazing mic. So I think my chant will sound much better than what I used to do. So I know some of you are still writing it down, but if you want to just put your pen down just for a couple of minutes, I am going to chant for you. So, and then for those of you who know how to chant with me. You can keep yourself on mute and think about something that you may be anxious about or want to get rid of, and imagine it being cleared away as I chant. Yes? So close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in to connect yourself. And breathe out, releasing anything that's not serving you anymore. Breathing in again and breathing out. And now you can breathe how you normally breathe, and just enjoy the energy. And for those of you who's chanting with me, take a nice deep breath in and let's start chanting. 今日だけは怒るな、心配すな、感謝して、今日励め人に親切に。今日だけは怒るな、心配すな、感謝して、今日励め人に親切に。今日だけは怒るな、心配すな、感謝して、今日励め人に親切に。今日だけは怒るな、心配すな、感謝して、今日励め人に親切に。今日だけは怒るな、心配すな、感謝して、今日励め人に親切に。今日だけは怒るな、心配すな、感謝して、今日励め人に親切に。今日だけは怒るな、心配すな、感謝して、今日励め人に親切に。今日だけは怒るな、心配すな、感謝して、今日励め人に親切に。One last one. So just release anything that you want to release for one last time. 今日だけは怒るな、心配すな、感謝して、今日励め人に親切に。So just tune into yourself and feel the vibration from the chant. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Ah, great to see your smile. Yes. How was it for you? Feel free to put it in the chat if you like. But I see much more smile on your face. Ah, thank you. Yeah, I feel the difference in the Zoom room. I normally after we chat this, I feel the difference in everyone's face, and then I feel the energy from the room too. So, it felt great. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Do you feel some lighter? Maybe you might have felt some clearing. So when we create a space by releasing some stuff in our head from our meditation, Marie, you feel relaxed. Great, great. Yeah. When we do that, then often new idea comes up, right? Meditation is when I get all the new ideas. So the release some of the heaviness I had before. Great. Thank you, Nicole. Yeah. And great job for you releasing them, right? I was just chanting, but you actually took effort. And then sometimes it takes courage to let go. So congratulations, right? This is what you pat your back. Okay, maybe everyone, can you pat your back for being part of this and releasing whatever you released? Yeah, good job. So during the time when I was hit heavy with anxiety and negativity, I started to meditate and chant longer. And I felt my anxiety releasing. And I got a lot of new amazing ideas. Right? I'm just walking around and then all of a sudden I'm like seeing all these new ideas. That's when I knew I was back. So if you like to do more of the Reiki precept meditation on your own, here is a link for the YouTube. And I'll email it to you too. But I know a lot of you don't open emails, so I figured I'll give it to you as well too. So you can meditate along with it, or it has a caption. So if you want to learn how to chant, you could do that. And we go much deeper in our class on meaning behind it and how to chant if you like to join us. And my other favorite meditation is Yoga Nidra, which is a sleeping yoga meditation. And I may do another event if enough people are interested. So once again, shoot me an email if that's something you're interested in. Also, at the end of the event, I'll send you a survey. So there you can also put it in what you're interested in. And when I was suffering from the brain fog with the autoimmune condition, yoga nidra seems to have completely rewired my brain so I can think clearly. So because we only have a limited amount of time, I'm not going to be able to talk about yoga nidra. Oh, yours says, okay. I may have to, I thought that I released it at 10 a.m., but I will, I'll check in after the event and I'll send you an email. So if you are interested in that YouTube, then please check your email. Sorry about that. I thought I made it available. So this is a yoga nidra, and let me know if that one is actually available or not. But this meditation I was doing every night before I was going to bed, and then it seems to have cleared out my brain fog. So I will fix that link and I'll make it public. So sorry about that. And if you do like these meditations, please subscribe to my channel. I'm planning on releasing more meditations. And if there are certain things that you want to hear, then let me know. I'm always open for suggestions. Okay, so what was number one magical tool? Meditation and chanting. Can we say it? Meditation and chanting. Awesome. All right, moving on to the second one, which is dry bathing. So for those of you who is a Reiki practitioner, you know what this is. Dry bathing helps to release anxiety and negative energy. And they also help you to connect and be grounded. So you can use it before important meeting to release anxiety or connect to yourself. I use it after every Reiki or KonMari or coaching session to release any negative energy or any energy that is not mine. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Just watch me for the first round and then we'll do it together. It's very simple. It just looks like this. I think I need to be a little bit further away. So it's just like this. Very easy and simple. So all you do, can we do it together? And you can see me, right? All you do is bring your right hand over to the left shoulder, and then you go crosswise to brush it off. Yes. And then now left hand over to the right, and then go crosswise to brush it off. And now the right hand over to the left, and go crosswise to brush it off. And then now you bring your left hand out, and then you bring it all the way to your fingertip and brush it off. And then now the other side, and brush it all the way to the fingertips. And then now the other side, brush it all the way. So it's very simple and it's very quick. And if you haven't noticed, it's 3 and 3. So the only thing that may trip you is it's not 2 or 4. So what I recommend you do is you count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So can we do it together? Saying 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So please say it with me, right? Bring your right hand over to the left. 1, 2, 3. Left hand out. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's this simple. And my recommendation is you actually add the breath. So you breathe in and you bring your hand over to the left side. And then you breathe out as you brush off any negative energy or anxiety. And then now left hand over to the right, breathe in and breathe out and release. Right hand over to the left, breathe in, breathe out, and brush off. Left hand out, breathe in, breathe out. Now right hand, breathe in, breathe out. Last one, breathing in, breathing out. So can you just think of something that you want to release quickly? Maybe just some quick interaction you had with someone earlier today or yesterday, or something that just keep nagging you. Can you think of that? And can we do it together with your breath? So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I would like you to, if you can, add the breath so that you're also releasing from your breath as well too. Is that clear? You guys all good? Okay. So bring your right hand over to the left. 1, 2, 3. Left hand out. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good job. So it's very simple and easy, right? Yes. So you just have to keep counting. And so if you feel like you want to ground yourself, you could do that. Or, like for those of you who live in New York City, I use it all the time. Like you hop on the subway and there's all this weird energy, right? And I just be like, and then once you get used to it, you can even do it in your head. I do it on the airplane. No one look at me. But sometimes there's a time when I was carrying my bananas, right? I went to a grocery store. I didn't have my bags. I was carrying my banana. I'm walking like this. And then the person in front of me on the street started cursing, and not to me, but like she had this like weird energy. And like, I was just like, whoa. So I just did it in my head. I couldn't move my hand because I have my bananas. But in my head, I was just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then just release that weird energy. So I'm sure those of you who's outside of New York too, you have weird people and weird energy, right? So that's something that, if you're at the office, maybe you can go to the bathroom, or at home, right? Sometimes your loved one is the worst one that could trigger you. So if you started to feel some anger, and instead of getting into an argument with your significant others or your children, your family member, then you can just brush it off. You do 1, 2, 3, you 1, 2, 3, and then take it out. So that way you can be a better person to communicate to your friends and your family. Does that make sense? Yes? Can you use that tool? Do you feel like you got it, right? It's simple. Okay, good, good, good. Okay. And so should I say dry bathing is the second one? Just so that dry bathing. Yeah, maybe some of you didn't write it down. Yes. Okay, so can we say it together? The second one is dry bathing. Okay, and then I have a video of that too, so I'll send it to you at the in the email. Okay, the third one is Reiki self-care. So in the Reiki class, you learn a full protocol of 16 positions and all the way you can prepare yourself. But I want to give you 3 quick one right now. The first 3 positions that is most effective for anxiety. So you can use this before going to bed to help you fall asleep, or when you wake up to give yourself extra energy. So what you do is just bring your hands over to your eyes. And then if you're not Reiki practitioner, just send a nice energy to yourself, right? Just bring your hands over to the eyes. And then just imagine some nice energy coming out from your hand. And you're easing yourself. You're taking care of yourself. Everyone has the ability to take care of yourself. If you have a headache, you often put your hand on your head, or if you have a tummy ache, you put your hands. So your hand has ability to heal yourself. So this is a first position, releasing anxiety, right? Maybe you can release the vision of all that negativity or anxiety. And then now the next position is bring your hand to on top of your crown. Yes. And maybe you can release some of your self-talk, some of the negative self-talk. Often the anxiety is in your head or in your heart or in your solar plexus. And it will just keep going and going and going. So this helps to release that. And the last position, and I highly recommend doing this laying down, because you can't keep arm up like this too long. Otherwise your shoulder is gonna hurt. And the last position is back of the head, like this, top and bottom, or sideways like this. Sorry, I don't know if you are able to hear me, but the sideways or top and bottom. And release your mental chatter. Okay, so you can let it go. I see some of you are yawning. So yeah, how does that feel? I'm starting to see a much gentler smile. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so this is a very self-meditative practice. And in a Reiki class, you learn all 16 positions, including the preparation and concept of self-care. You know, we often are taking care of other people, but we're really bad with taking care of ourselves. Right? Self-care, I actually had to learn about self-care and I had to really fight for it. And I don't have to fight anyone else but myself, right? No one else was like, no, you can't take time for self-care. No, I was the one that was feeling guilty. So now you got all 6 tools. Can you see that if you use all 6 tools, then maybe you can get out of your anxiety or negativity. And even if you use half of them, you may be able to release some. Yes. And I love how you guys are all really seriously taking notes. And don't worry, I'll have the video. So if you missed anything, I know I'm speaking fairly quickly, that you will be able to watch it again. So now I would like to share with you where you can learn more about Reiki for a couple minutes. Is that okay? Thank you. And then we'll end with Reiki spiritual blessing to conclude the formal part of the day. And then we open up the floor for sharing and Q&A. So the problem we have in our modern day is that many of us are stressed out and might have lost passion or motivations or feeling anxious and negative, but don't know what to do. And you deserve to be free from all negativities so you can enjoy life and manifest all the things that you dreamed about. So here's what we're doing on Hybrid Reiki 1 weekend. You have a deeper connection with yourself, taking a time out to pause and engage in ultimate self-care. And you experience 2 meditation sessions to find inner peace. And you receive 4 spiritual blessings to connect to spiritual life force energy. And you learn food protocol for Reiki self-care for your ultimate self-care routine that you can use for the rest of your life. So if you're feeling depleted, taking care of other people or your job or all the stuff on your list, and if you wish you had more energy, then you learn the quick and easy self-care technique that you can use for the rest of your life. And you learn how to do Reiki chair protocol to provide Reiki to your loved ones so you can spread the healing and positivity. And you learn the spiritual centering practice to increase balance and clarity. And you understand what Reiki is and immerse yourself in Reiki precepts, the one that I was chanting. So you learn how to chant and also the meaning behind it and more. And you explore the history of Reiki to deepen your knowledge and connection. So the program is designed to give you tools. So wake up feeling excited about your life and embrace life has to offer and even have extra energy to share with other people. So if you have taken Reiki class before, but feel a bit rusty with your practice, you can also join as well too. And it's happening on Saturday and Sunday on March 23rd and 24th. There's a Zoom and in-person option. So you can join from anywhere in the world. And if you're in the New York area, you can join in person on Sunday. And the regular price is $375. And that's the price I've been offering for all these years. And but I know that a lot of you need this tool. So I am doing a early bird pricing discount. So you save $75. And actually the special was running until last night, but I figured some of you may want to take advantage of it. So I decided to extend it until tonight. Until the end of tonight, you have the early bird pricing. And if you live in US, you receive this beautiful manual and some stickers for free. And so I want to just share with what some of my students got. One of my students came in with the intention to help her daughter who has been chronically depressed and couldn't sleep for more than a couple hours for 5 years. And my student did a chair session to her daughter after the class. And her daughter slept for 7 hours for the first time in 5 years. So you don't have to be studying Reiki for many years in order to achieve that kind of help or support that you can be for your family. Well, my other student had chronic illness since her early 20s that affected her physical body as well as a mental. And she was anxious all the time and was tired all the time. And after the day 1 of Reiki class, she learned how to do self-care and she gained more energy and less pain. It was very instant for her. And she called her boyfriend and said, honey, you don't need to come pick me up. I can take public transportation home. And that was like the first time for her in many years. And she even started to help people who are in the same health challenge as her, which was not imaginable for her before the Reiki class. So here I'm rushing to give you as much information as I can in 75 to 90 minutes. But in a class, it'll be much longer. So it'll be much slower. It's not just me talking because it's very important to reflect and be heard. So this is me just talking, but in a class, you actually be sharing yourself with other people as well too. So if you're ready to begin your Reiki journey with me and have a life-changing experience, then Hybrid Reiki 1 class is happening on March 23rd and 24th. And I'll share the link here. And hopefully this link works. So please come join me. And if you have any question, you can ask me at the Q&A when I open up the floor. So thank you for letting me share how I could also help you in the future. Oh, wait. And so now, what is the time? It is 12. So I'm talking in Eastern Standard Time, 12 to 5. No, 12 to 6 on Saturday and 12 to 5 on Sunday in Eastern Standard Time. So that way it's a little bit easier for the West Coast people too. Okay, so yes, thank you, Jeanette. And now, if you guys are ready, I would like to share a Reiki energy spiritual blessing. And this has no religious association. And if you prefer not to receive for whatever reason, you can put no in the chat and then private message me. So that way I can skip you. But what this does is it helped to open you up and connect more to spiritual life force energy. So in a Reiki class, you'll be receiving individualized, longer version of this. Here, you get the taste of this. I'll be doing the group spiritual blessing. And all you need to do is to relax and receive. Oh, and I love it. Some of you took your glasses off to maybe relax more. Yeah, you're all ready. Awesome, awesome. So if you want to receive, and I don't see any, okay. Oh, okay. So I said 12 to 5 on Saturday and Sunday. Oh, okay. So let me check. Thank you, Nicole. Okay. So what I would like is for you to just sit in your chair and relax and just be ready and be open to receive. And I'm going to share music so that way you can listen to my favorite Reiki music as I do the Reiki blessings for you. So close your eyes and taking a nice deep breath in, connect to yourself, breathe out, breathing in again, and breathing out. And just breathe normally. And just enjoy receiving the energy. So tune into yourself and maybe feel the vibration of the energy you just received. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back. Love seeing your smile. Okay. Thank you for being so open and being receptive. Oh, so much smile. Awesome, awesome. So what I would like to do before we open up the floor for Q&A is to have you do dry bathing one more time and come up with one word quality that you want to be for, let's say, next 21 days. It could be the freedom or beauty or happiness or peace or love or passion. I would say pick one. So, yes, thank you. And just pick one quality that you want to be for yourself and others. So, Jeanette, safe, great. Anyone else? You want to put it in the chat? Carlos, happy, awesome. So, it doesn't have to be, anything too hard to think about. You can just come up with something and then pick one and connect. Ah, beautiful, Julia. Oh, content. Okay, got it. Okay. And love, Jan. Beautiful. Great. So just pick one and empowered. Great. Joyful. Great. Yeah. So let's do dry bathing and release anything that's not that, right? That's not what you have chosen. And then I'm going to have you just go in quick meditation to just feel that. And then we open up the floor. So can we do the dry bathing together? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, and keep releasing. 2, 3. And just put your hands on your heart and close your eyes and feel that energy, that quality, harmonious, joyful, empowered, love, content, happy, and safe. Whatever it is for you, just feel that quality. And feel yourself enjoying that quality instead of anxiety or negativity. See the vision of you embracing that quality. Maybe hear yourself talking to yourself. You're having a self-talk in that vocabulary. Like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so content. I'm in love. I'm so empowered. I am joyful. I am harmonious. And I feel safe. Okay. And when you're ready, you can let go and open your eyes. Ah, look at you guys. Awesome. So what I would like to do before we open up the floor for Q&A is I would love to take picture of ourselves, especially with all your smiles. So if you are off camera, but want to show for this portion, yes, thank you. And then if you're like, please do not share my photo out in social media or anything, then please turn off your camera. And so that way it won't be in there. So are you guys ready to show your smile? Give me the biggest smile, and then I'll count 3, 2, 1. So 3, 2, 1, smile. And then let's do one more. And then I'll email you this picture too, so that this is kind of like, photo of your trip, right? You had this journey with me and you have the field trip photo. So let me do one more. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you for letting me take your pictures, and you get that email. So now, thank you for listening to me for past 70 minutes. Now you get to talk, and I'm just going to keep this recording on Just so that I know, like sometimes like, oh, I wish I took notes on that, and I can't take notes when I'm here, but this portion will not be on YouTube. So don't worry, this is just for my purpose. So for those of you who is watching the recording, thank you for watching the recording.